Ben Shapiro and Andrew Tate, they gonna fight. No, they're not gonna fight. That wouldn't be a fight. That wouldn't be that would be the shortest fight in history. Um, Ben Shapiro's not in any way a tough guy, which is funny though, because that's what Andrew Tate called him. There is, if you're not aware of this, which I'm thinking pretty much anybody watching this podcast is probably aware of this already, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. This feud between Ben Shapiro and Andrew Tate. I'm going to read this article from Newsweek. It'll kind of break it down a little bit instead of me just going through the timeline of it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So Ben Shapiro escalates feud with Andrew Tate. The feud between Ben Shapiro and Andrew Tate has escalated after the conservative political commentator slammed the former kickboxer on Peirs Morgan Uncensored. The online battle between the two influencers began with a post Shapiro shared to X, the social network formerly known as Twitter, on October 9th. The conservative political commentator, who is Jewish and a staunch supporter of Israel, reposted a clip of the current fighting in the Gaza Strip. Originally shared by user Mario Nafal, the footage was accompanied by the caption, "Just in, the UN Special Rapporteur for Human Rights in Palestine, we are horrified by what is happening and we call for a truce." And in response to the call for peace, Shapiro wrote, "And they can F right off." Tate commented on the 39-year-old's post, referring to him as Mr. Tough Guy. "Let me assure you as someone," this is Tate, by the way, speaking, "let me assure you as someone who has okay, that's not correct, but I think that's how he wrote it. Let me just correct it. Let me assure you as someone who has done his own fighting, as opposed to excitedly encouraging others to do it for him, while sitting at home on a comfy chair," Tate said, "peace is always worth a conversation." Don't disagree with that exactly. Now, timing, maybe not. Does peace deserve a conversation? Somebody busted in your door, punched your wife in the face or kid in the face, and then stopped right away and said, no, truce, I want to talk peace. Would you be like, yeah, no, you're right. Now's the time for peace? Or would you say, well, you know what? Let me now return the favor, and then maybe we can talk about peace after I've, carved a piece out of you or whatever. All right, so let's go on. The 36-year-old, who is Muslim and anti-war, has previously expressed support for Palestine and is advocating for a ceasefire. Replying to Tate's jibe, Shapiro said, "Let me assure you, as someone who has not pimped women and bragged about it, that morality requires that those who rape women and kidnap children must be eradicated, not negotiated with." Shapiro was referencing Tate's charges for rape and human trafficking in Romania, where he is accused of creating an organized crime group with the aim of sexually exploiting women. Why was I having a hard time reading that? During an interview with Peirs Morgan on October 11, Shapiro shared his thoughts on the feud. He was tweeting that immediately, as terrorists were still running around in southern Israel. That was on October 10th, and he was still tweeting while the bodies were fresh and warm in the streets, Shapiro said. "You cannot make peace with people who murdered your children and burned their bodies. You can't do that. The murder happens and you immediately say, okay, guys, now truce, now ceasefire." Just like I said. Yeah, so exactly. I agree with that. Shapiro believes it is unreasonable for the Israeli government to seek peace with a group that seeks its direct extermination. These are fair points. I mean, how are you going to argue that? It's logic. The author also told Morgan that he could not be lectured on morality and toughness by Andrew Tate. Great idea of toughness and morality is pimping women and then bragging about it on air and trying to quasi-walk it back while simultaneously maintaining many of the same positions and flexing his biceps, he said. These are strong words from a guy that, I don't think could fight his way out of a Big Mac, but, he's gonna, whatever. Okay. Morgan highlighted Tate's massive online following, asking Shapiro if it's dangerous that the Big Brother star can still post about the conflict. Listen, everyone should be able to tweet whatever it is that they want. I'm all for open discourse, even with people who I think are dead wrong on a lot of these issues, Shapiro said. But Andrew Tate is dead wrong on a lot of these issues, and the particularly ridiculous posturing about being yes, you're very tough when you want people to make peace with terrorists who just murdered their children. Very, very tough. Yeah, so, okay. I can't disagree with a lot of what Ben's saying there. I mean, yeah, it, I just think, you know, maybe don't pick a fight with a guy that could kick your head off. Whatever, but I don't think I don't think Andrew Tate's gonna, fly into the States to kick Ben Shapiro's face off or anything like that. So I guess he's probably safe to say it. But yeah, it seems a little weird, the jib jab back and forth, considering that probably other than on like morality issues and things like that, I would think that Ben Shapiro and Andrew Tate would probably align on quite a few different, the traditionalist type ideas and things like that. You know, some of the conservative ideas that Tate has. So, yeah, but whatever. This is like I'd said last week when I was talking about this with Ben Shapiro or about Ben Shapiro. He's very hot on this. This is obviously very emotional for him. This is very close to home for him. You start getting into that kind of stuff, start talking like that, he's gonna jump right in the conversation, especially if you're Andrew Tate, someone who commands a lot of eyes on you. So yeah, it's it's what it is, I guess. But we'll see if this this is kind of fun to me. I like these little online beefs, but we'll see if this mounts into anything or if it just kind of quiets down.